Come on, Colleen. This hangout is live!
Yay!
This is Francesca!
Hi, everybody.
I can't believe I'm sitting next to you, like, on the internet. I
You're
know.
the biggest secret ever.
The biggest secret of all time.
You'd think it was Star Wars.
I know, you would. So Francesca has been like one of my favorite human beings for pretty much this entire year, and I haven't been able to tell anybody. And it's so weird. Like okay guys, even when I was in Canada doing post-production and I was the only one up there, I was up there with Corey, like alone, and Chris would come up. You were up there for most of it too.
Yeah.
With Corey alone.
Well, oh my God, my cat just.
With Chris also.
With Chris. Kitty. Anyway, Francesca like flew out to Canada to hang out with me and like had vacation with me. Like we have been like secret little besties for a while. So, and Francesca just met the cat.
This cat could fit in the palm of my hand. He's a little aggressive though.
Yeah, well, he's hyper right now. But anyway, I'm so excited. This is my first live stream since Haters came out. I mean, it came out 2 days ago, so big whoop. but you've done two.
Yeah, I did one leading up to and one right after. And it was fun.
I've never done one before.
Yeah, this is Francesca's first live stream. She doesn't know like anything about Twitter or anything, my sweet little pumpkin. So how this is going to work is there's so many secrets and like behind the scenes things with Haters Back Off that I want to tell you guys about. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the episode together. I'm gonna turn my TV on mute, it's over there, and we are watching the episode. And I'm gonna tell you when to push play. And we're all gonna push play at the same time, and then I'll tell you when to pause, and I'll like have you pause and play throughout this live stream, and we'll tell you secrets about the set, about stuff that happened to us while we were shooting.
So set up your Netflix right now.
Yeah, so set up Netflix.
Episode 1. Yeah,
so everyone go onto Netflix right now with your computer, your phone, or tablet, or whatever you're watching this on. Go to Netflix and search for Haters Back Off, and get episode 1 up and ready to push play. Okay, so while you guys are doing that. We'll talk for a second because this is so.
It might take a while for some of you to subscribe.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a second to do that now.
So anyway, this is Francesca. I can't believe you're here. Okay, so Francesca, I feel like I can't even say it out loud, like what role you play. Like I feel like I
struggled a little bit.
I still can't
really
say it. Like I've even posted pictures with you, and I'm like, this is Francesca, but like I won't say what your
really
role is.
When people come up to me and talk to me about it now and they say, oh, congratulations, I saw you on the show, I'll be like, what show? And get like really,
she was
really
like
scared.
She was not allowed to talk about it. She couldn't tell anyone she was cast. She couldn't say anything. So like while we're on set, all of us are taking pictures together and posting about the show, and she was like not allowed to post anything. Mm-hmm. She wasn't allowed to do like anything. Like, and we snuck her in some things. Like when she came to visit me in Vancouver, your hand was in some of my Snapchats, and like we would like sneak her into certain things. But
there was that video. There's a YouTube video where you're like wearing a mask. Isn't there?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Okay, so in the Don't Stop the Feeling music video where I'm dancing with the whole cast and crew, it's on my channel. She's got a giraffe hat on, and that's Franny because I wanted her in it, and I was like,
much the best looking giraffe.
Yeah. And your mom knew who it was because she knew.
My mom knew who it was because she was just like, I recognize those hips anywhere.
Which is like, such a strange
kind of a strange thing to say, but I guess it's your mom.
Yeah.
But I snuck into your show too.
Yeah. Yeah, she came to my show in Thousand Oaks.
And I've been everywhere. I'm kind of like
she sat. Yeah, she like sat with the fans in the audience, like during the meet and greet, like with the viewers. And she wanted me to answer a question, but I wouldn't. But then she came out. She waited in line for a picture with Miranda and took a picture with Miranda. And we like tried to play it off like she was like a fan, like we didn't know her. Like nice to meet you.
I think I said hi to your dad. I think he gave your dad a high five, like a very solid I know you high five, and then got really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
I think the saddest. I didn't tell my parents either. My parents had no idea why I was going to Vancouver. They were just like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm working," which is really sketchy. But now they're
not true. They didn't know.
They're blabbermouths. I don't know if you are on Facebook, but my parents have posted pretty much a time, like every single photo. My mom sent Colleen a video today, like
I still haven't watched it. I need to
talking to her about how she watched the show. My mother is like 60 and she waited until midnight, which is unlikely.
She did?
She watched it at midnight and she watched the whole thing.
She did?
Starting at midnight. She watched 1 through 8 from midnight on, and then was still up at 6 a.m. trying to make me pancakes on Friday morning. And she's like, I finished it. I'm done.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I want to know what she thought. Is that what the video is? That you
yeah.
Okay, that's watch it. Okay. Okay, do you feel like it's been long enough to like let people
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're gonna start the episode. So go on, if there's some new viewers maybe, go on to Netflix, go to Haters Back Off on Netflix. We're gonna watch the episode together. I'm gonna be pausing it throughout and telling you little stories and behind the scenes secrets of Haters Back Off episode 1. So we're gonna get started. Oh my God, I'm nervous, I'm so excited. This is so fun. Okay, so I'm gonna push play. I'm gonna tell you guys when to push play. Okay, ready? And we're all gonna push at the same time. I'm gonna turn off my sound. And then just push pause whenever I tell you to push pause, but let's all watch it together. Okay.
We're all gonna be looking up here like we're taking a portrait at Sears or something.
Yeah. You ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh wait. Not 3.
No, not 3.
Wait, it's loading. It's loading. Okay, it's going.
I think you're
My
playing
sound is
episode
on.
8.
No, it's not episode 8, is it?
I think you're playing episode 8.
No, it's this episode.
No, that's not.
Oh yeah, this is wrong. I
Pause.
Start over. Who's on episode 8? Oh yeah, you're right. Episodes and more. Sorry, I told you guys to be ready and I wasn't ready. Start over.
Take 2.
Okay.
And it looks like it might start.
No, I got this. I'll start it over. Just be patient.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. My dad has been watching this on repeat, and he changed the settings on the TV.
Dad.
And he's like made the lighting like really bright. So we look like a cartoon. Just so you know, like my dad changed the lighting because when we did the coloring for the show, we wanted it to be like kind of dusty and like dark and like yellowy. And my dad changed it on our television to be really bright colors.
Like light on your TV.
Yeah. Okay. So now go to the beginning of the episode. We're gonna push play and just on episode 1 of Haters Back Off right now. Okay, it's loading.
Let's count to 3. I would have steered them.
Should we tell them how we came up with the Netflix logo?
No. Okay, so we're starting off with Miranda. She's saying hi. Okay, so just you can watch it. I don't know what to say about this. We went back and forth on what song to do because my very first video that I actually did, my very first Miranda upload was "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas." And we couldn't get the rights to that song. So we wanted to pick a different song, but I was really excited at the thought of doing Defying Gravity because that's something that I've been doing in my live show forever. And so I knew that it would mean a lot to like my viewers, to you guys, if I put Defying Gravity in the show. And actually our director, Andrew Gaynard, loved the idea of Defying Gravity. He thought he like was obsessed with it because we threw around a bunch of different ideas, but this is the song that he really liked. And
so this part that's coming up where the camera like goes around Miranda's head now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it. So pause it. We're at 108 right now.
So can I tell?
I don't know who to look at.
Everyone.
So, do I look? Okay.
You can look whatever you want.
So when our director Andrew was kind of coming up with this shot, Colleen and I were like in his office with a cell phone. And he was like standing behind me, directing me, and I was like going like this with my phone, and we were planning out the shot. Like we recorded the shot that you see now, which was actually done with like a Steadicam, but we did it all on a cell phone. I don't know who has that footage.
He has it. Andrew still has it. Our director. We did it. We pushed all the furniture in his office around.
Yeah, we like picked up his big old desk and moved it over, and he and I just got like super like artsy and creative. It was like, I don't know. It was very like, yeah, we'll do this and we'll do that. And we'll like, move it like this and it'll be awesome. We got very like artsy, but that was fun. Really that was like the first day that I was in Vancouver for the show. We like moved all the furniture in his office.
Okay, so make sure you guys are hashtagging. I forgot to say this. We're paused right now at 108 on Netflix. If you guys are watching episode 1 with us, we're paused at 108. But make sure to tag Francesca, FRANLREALE, and follow her. And hashtag Haters Back Off and tag Christopher if you guys have questions or whatever while we're watching the episode. We'll be trying to check Twitter and going. This is going to take us all day to watch episode 1. It really is. So excited. Okay.
And I'm at Ballinger Family.
Oh my God. Okay. So yes, at Ballinger Family for Christopher. So Cirrus S. Martin said, did you record your voice for Defying Gravity here? So in my vlogs when I was in Canada, I vlogged me recording something in the studio and dubbed it over so you can hear it. And yes, I was recording so you just jumped
to the end of the episode.
Well, they asked.
You just jumped all the way to the end of the episode.
They know it's me. They know it's me. At the end of the episode, you hear Defying Gravity, and it's me. Okay. Look at Fran was in a vlog. Yeah, they knew you were in the vlog.
That's the worst photo of my yeah, the best screenshot is Emily's supposed to be older or younger. You're jumping ahead.
Francesca,
you don't know if Emily's older or younger? Emily's definitely supposed to be the younger sister.
Emily's 110%.
He's like, do you really think that I look younger than Francesca? Please. But I do think, you know what's crazy is the red carpet pictures from Netflix from the premiere. We look so much like sisters. Like, it's crazy. We look so related.
We didn't even color coordinate or anything.
I know. Like, we look so similar.
I still look younger, though.
I feel like even right now, like, we totally look related. I don't know.
Yeah, I should fix my bun to match yours.
Mine's much more frizzy than yours. Okay, anyway, we're going to push play. We're at 1:08 on Here's Back Off episode 1. This is going to take us all day. I'm pushing play again. So it's the camera's swooping around Miranda right now. I don't know how many of you are actually watching with us, but the camera is swooping around Miranda. That moment is so magical. And at the premiere, when the camera pulls out from the camcorder and like goes around me, I cried.
Everyone was clapping.
The audience was all clapping.
They were like whooping
They were like,
and
oh my
cheering.
God. I was screaming at
There was
the
such a
premiere.
cool energy.
And I just started crying. I was like, I can't believe this is real. Like, this is so crazy.
I've always really admired your room.
I know, wait, I'm gonna pause it again. Sorry, this is gonna take forever. So at like 1:38, when it gets to the other side of Miranda, you can see hats on the wall. Most of those hats are mine. So on the set, there are tons of props that I brought from the Miranda room at my office at home and put it inside Miranda's room on the set for super fans so that you guys could find little things that you've seen in other videos. So on the wall, there's a princess hat that's from home, the Christmas hat, which I took Instagram pictures in and like did videos in like maybe 3 years ago or something.
There's a giraffe mask.
There's a giraffe mask that
that.
Emily, that Francesca wore in the, that Francesca wore in the Don't Stop the Feeling. So there's tons of stuff like that on the set. Like,
I have something else
what?
also. So in this moment right here, we're so close on Colleen's ears in this shot that she couldn't actually wear an earpiece to hear the music because there's music playing so that she can sing, but we couldn't record the sound of that music while we were recording her voice. So we had to tape an earpiece behind her ear and she could barely hear it.
Barely. So like me singing off pitch and not knowing the timing is genuine because I couldn't hear the music at all.
Yeah, so there's this last part, like when we press play again, where she takes, like, she kind of gulps and takes a second. It's because she was so ahead of the music.
Yeah, because I couldn't hear it.
And she just started hearing it again and was like, oh yeah.
I am way off. So I'm pushing play. We're on Netflix episode 1. Here's Back Off at 1:38. This is going to take forever. Okay. So let's see. Miranda's bedroom is based on the bedroom I lived in college with Heather Lundstead. She was my roommate, my friend Heather. And a lot of the first Miranda videos were shot in a room that looked similar to this room. So it was based on that.
It also has elements of your childhood.
Yeah, for sure. There's a drop. Okay, pause again. Sorry, y'all. Pause again at 2:03. You guys hate me. We're just losing viewers. Everyone's like, I'm not watching this. So we're on Uncle Jim at 2:03. On the wall in the back on the left, there's a drawing on the wall above Miranda's pillows. Do you see what I'm talking about? The colorful picture.
I see it.
That is a recreation of a drawing that Rachel, my sister, did when she was like 8 and is still on the wall at my parents' house. So we took pictures of my parents' house and of any house that like we took inspiration from to build this set. And that was in on the inspiration board for this set. And so when I got to set, they had recreated all of these art pieces that we did as kids and they were on the wall. So that art piece on the wall is an exact replica that someone made on the art department team of a drawing that Rachel drew when she was a little girl in an art class when we were homeschooled.
And they didn't tell us they were doing that either. Like, we just sent them reference photos and then we got to the set and we're like, wait, that's from Mom's house. Like, well, how did you get that thing or this? It was like really surreal.
They seem to do that a lot. You guys are pointing out a lot of stuff.
I know. Sorry, it's going to take forever. We're at 2:03, pushing play right now. Okay, so Uncle Jim is saying, that was incredible. This was his audition scene.
Yes.
This is the scene he auditioned with.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He's so good.
Someday soon.
He sent in a tape for his audition, and so did you. You two were the taped auditions. And Franny was.
Sent in so many.
Yeah, she sent in a million tapes. And she flew out to LA a billion times.
We had our Skype meeting, which was glorious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I was like, hello.
That didn't work. My fist video. Oh, if you pause. Okay, we'll pause here. Okay, pause when the fist video it's at 2:44 is where I'm at right now. Okay, first of all, if you look at the video on the related videos, all of them have the view 220 or 22,00, which is not a number. And when I first thought, I was like, okay, can we change this? Because that's not a number. and they were filming the actual computer we had on set, and that was just what they had programmed in. And it would have cost so much money to later, when we were editing, go in and individually change them all out. So they had to stay like that, which drives me crazy, but no one's really commented on it yet. So now I'm just letting you know something that drives me crazy on the show. But yeah, 22,00. There's a couple others that have like a normal, that have normal numbers, but.
We added those later though.
Yeah, we added those later.
Yeah, the different
The one that
numbers.
says trees is actually the monarch butterflies. That's my photo from my from Santa Barbara. So.
I know my daughter's
You
in
made
one.
it into the show.
I made it in.
You did it.
I did it. Okay, play. Netflix original series. Da-na-na-na.
I love this intro.
You do?
I really do.
Oh,
When you sent me
cool.
little snippets of it,
Yeah.
I was dying.
And the music,
The music
for the
is
show,
so
just
good.
in
It's so
general,
pretty.
Natural beauty.
so
no porn.
amazing.
Our composer was killer. He's so good. And just so you guys know, this artwork is a lot of it was made by Corey DeSoto. A lot of it. He stayed at home and like made paper mache heads and drew weird random pictures and all that stuff.
There's Bailey on that.
Oh
That
yeah,
related
Bailey was in
video.
that one. So yeah, this scene still was the same scene that Steve auditioned with for Uncle Jim, the 5-phase plan. So I wanted to give like a little tip, nod of the head to like Miranda saying, I'm a actor, singer, dancer, model, magician, because I say that all the time in my live shows. So that's where the 5-phase plan was kind of like inspired by that, and why Miranda says that all the time. Oh, and if you pause, oh, too late. Never mind. Don't pause. Oh yeah, you can pause. Okay, at 3:44, in the background, you'll see a photo of Miranda and Uncle Jim. That is right here, because I stole it. I stole it from set. I stole it from set. I didn't steal it because if we get a season 2, I'll bring it back.
Netflix is calling right now.
No, but I did take it from set. And if obviously if we got a season 2, I'd bring it back. But I was just like, the thought of it like just being in a box for the rest of eternity. I was like, what if we don't get a season 2 and I never see this again?
Can we mark
So
Steve's
Steve's like
neck?
7 chins.
That's like
This was
50
the
billion
first day.
necks.
I know.
The first day anybody had hair and
Makeup and
costumes.
costumes,
Like
yeah.
this was like really where we were like discovering these characters in
Yeah.
their fullness, and it was so neat to
This
see
is the
them
day
all
I met.
gel.
This is the day you came to set. You got there that morning.
I got to Vancouver that morning
Yeah.
and booked it. Colleen's hair was like this long, and then
They cut it all off. And then also in the background by the picture of me and Steve on the wall, there's a gold shirt. That's a gold, that's the shirt I wore for like every magic performance with you, like on live. That's like my live show magic shirt that I wore as Miranda for years. So there's tons of stuff all over the set that was like
It's really attractive.
really attractive, and a really hot shirt. Like it was like warm in temperature. Okay. So they're waiting for the views. Oh, I pushed play, by the way. Waiting for the views to go.
Colleen.
I know, what are they saying?
I don't know. I forgot to choose.
So it's playing right, and Miranda just left the room. I'm just gonna narrate for you. Directed by Andrew Gaynard. I love him so much. I love this scene with Patrick. This was the first scene that I shot. No, it's not. The rain scene was the first scene I shot, but this was my first day of shooting. We shot this scene
Oh my god.
with me and Eric and the popsicle scene.
Eric was the first person to audition for the show.
Yes.
Right.
First person to audition.
Was he?
Yeah.
That's what he says.
No, he wasn't. He was the first person to audition for Patrick. He wasn't
I
the
don't-
first. I remember the first person who auditioned. It was an Uncle Jim audition.
Okay.
I paused it. We're at 4:25.
He was okay. Yes. He was the first person to audition for Patrick.
He was the first person. So we're at 4:25. I paused it. Sorry, this is gonna take forever. So Eric walked in. He walked in. I was like, oh, there's Patrick. Like it was like
Yeah.
done. And
we
then
both wrote on our
we
we had our little notes thing that we passed back and
we
forth.
were supposed to see like a million Patricks that day, and he walked in. He walked in before he talked. I was like, oh, this is Patrick. It's done. And then he said his lines. I was like, oh my God, he's perfect. Like he is perfect for this role. He's so good. And he was the first person. Everyone else who came in that day were like, we're sorry, you're good too. But
Yeah.
like we already found him. And we called Netflix. We're like, we found Patrick. And they're like, okay, can give him a call back and you need to like do a chemistry read with him. So they wanted him to come back in. I was like, this is a waste of time. I already know he's Patrick, it's done. But he did come in and we read together. And that just, I mean, solidified it even more. He was so good. So anyway, he's amazing. I love the scene. And this, you can see my lip quiver. And if you're at 425, you will see my chin quivering because I was so nervous. This is my first day filming as Miranda.
You were nervous?
I was so nervous. There was a camera this close to my face.
That's true.
I'm on a huge set that was like all for my show for the first, I had to like prove myself as like an actor and with people who are I was terrified.
Yeah,
like
the way we shot Miranda, she had her own style
I had
of
a
shot
own lens, like the Miranda lens, and it was like this close to my face. The camera
people
was
don't shoot
close.
shows this way. It's a wide lens that was like up her nose.
It was
and it
so
was
weird.
like literally she was acting and it was this close to her face.
So like my very first shot that I did was on the phone in the rain. And the camera was like here, and it threw me. I forgot my line because it threw me off. I was like, oh my God, because the camera was here. But anyway, we're at 425. If you watch, you'll see my chin like quiver because I'm nervous right there.
Oh my God.
It's like shaking.
Should we talk about how Froze Toast is a real
Yeah, I'm not
frozen
going to pause
confection?
it. I'm not going to pause it, but.
Oh, and he's doing magic now.
He's doing magic.
Just kind of laying that in there for
God.
later episodes. But the Froze Toast is a real popsicle that I used to get from the ice cream truck.
Really?
Yes.
It looks disgusting.
It was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because you got a little, it's the
came with
popsicle that kept going.
And it comes with the gum.
Yeah, the toenail is a gum.
So this is a real thing. But the Froze Toast, the real Froze Toast was actually red.
It's supposed to be a toenail.
Oh my
Of
God.
the big toe.
Yeah. The Froze Toast is, I'm pausing it right before I eat the big wiener at 5:09.
That was like the least wienery one. There's a take where they gave you one.
We have to find it. Hopefully we can get bloopers because
there
was one take where they handed me a popsicle. It's at 5:09 right now. And it looked like balls and a wiener. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I ate it. And Eric's not on screen for that shot, but he was laughing. And I was like, you jerk, because it made me laugh. It was awful. But anyway, the Froze Toast are real. That's a real ice cream that you used to be able to get. We used to get it all the time from the ice cream truck, and it was red, but we wanted it blue because Miranda's lips are red, and we wanted to see it on her face.
But you can. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, you were
disgusting.
eating like 400, it seemed.
Yes, I did eat 400. So I think, Corey, do you remember how many I ate that first day?
60. She said they
60.
made
60?
So we block shot the show, which means we would shoot, so this day we shot
everything in front of the house.
Anything in
for
front
the
of the
first
house.
4 episodes.
Yeah, so anything in front of the house for the first 4 episodes we shot in one day, which meant I ate popsicles in every
The whole
scene
day.
from 7 a.m. until the sun went down. And it was all I ate that day because I was so sick. In between takes, I was on the floor holding my sides.
Yeah, I remember I saw you.
So
and
nauseous.
I came to see you. I was like, Colleen, and you were just like, please don't.
I was like, don't talk to me. But the popsicles were thick and just the grossest. And I'm so mad because I wanted you guys all to eat them. And no one ever ate them.
I asked to eat one, and Props was like, we might need them.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted you guys to experience my pain. It's not that they tasted bad. It didn't taste bad. It just, when you eat the same thing over and over and over and over again, and it's something cold, like brain freeze, and also that bubble gum was hard as a rock because it was frozen. So we had to pre-chew bubble gum. I talked about this in a video with Christopher the other day. We would pre-chew bubble gum, and then they would do a cowboy switch, which means we'd get to the point where I'm supposed to blow the bubble, and then they pause and they switch out my popsicle stick with that popsicle stick with half-eaten thing, and then they paused again and they'd switch out the big ball of bubble gum that was frozen with a chewed piece of bubble gum, and that still wasn't working. I couldn't blow a bubble. So Christopher finally chewed gum and gave it to me and I put it in my mouth because we needed warm, freshly chewed.
You didn't know
bubble
the story?
gum. I didn't know anything. Isn't that gross? And everyone on set was like, "You do not need to do this." It was so disgusting. And I remember when you came out to tell me you wanted to do it, I said no at first. You're like, Colleen. It was our first day, with me in a scene, and so we were really trying to prove ourselves that we could do this. And he was like, Colleen, the only solution, I'm gonna chew the bubble gum and I'm gonna give it to you. I was like, no. And then after one take, I couldn't do it, and I was like, okay, let's do it, Chris. So he ran on set and handed me the gum that was in his mouth, and it worked. And that's the bubble that we use. That's the bubble that he pops.
Bonding.
So that was in Christopher's mouth.
Yeah.
So I just pushed
Sorry
play
about
at 5:10, and I just ate the big wiener popsicle. And that choke that I do is a genuine choke. I really did choke on.
This shot of Patrick is like my favorite. Where he's like, so
most
funny.
of Patrick's quivering, just anxious faces are bring me so much joy.
So that's my gum.
That's good.
There it is.
Jeez.
Did we tell people that we were playing?
Yeah, I told them
Oh,
to
okay,
play.
we're playing.
So we're at, so Miranda's walking back into the house right now. For those of you who are still watching with us. Okay, so if anyone's new, popped on here, we are watching Haters Back Off episode 1 right now and telling you behind the scenes secrets. I'm gonna pause it right now. We're at 5:49, so if you wanna hop on Netflix and go to 5:49 in episode 1, that's where we are. You will notice Patrick, as he drives away, you'll see like a big bulge in his pants from the back. And that is because his pants were way too big, so I didn't want anything to fit him well. Like none of us wore any clothes that were flattering ever, which Franny loved. But he had a big bulge in the back, and it's because they had to safety pin the waistline of his pants because they were huge on him. So that always has bugged me that you can see that. It's when he goes away after picking up the popsicle stick. And this, he did such a great job. Like his physical comedy. We're playing. I just pushed play. His physical comedy on that is like so great. Like,
well, he committed to that character so much.
You see the bulge on the back of his pants. Okay, so Uncle Jim is watching, waiting for the views to come in, back in the bedroom.
Uncle Jim's frown is kind of like Miranda's.
Yeah, they're very similar.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
They're like the sad clown.
Okay. So they're about to watch. This is improv.
Yeah.
I guess we should be telling you that, like what's improv. This was all improv. And actually this scene went on forever. I'm gonna pause it where he says, I'm gonna watch you watch it. We're at 6:26 on episode 1. This scene in the improv, do you remember how long we went on this?
There were a few scenes where we just let it go.
And
like,
Steve and I were like, just going on, and he's like, I'm gonna watch you watch it. And I was like, okay, watch. And he's like, I was like, you're breathing too loud. And like, and he's like, oh, should I breathe? Should I hold my breath? Like, and we were like, we went on and on and on and on and on forever. But this first episode was just so long. We had so much improv in it that we just had to let go of a lot of my favorite improv. And this scene in particular, I thought was really funny of us just talking about how he watched me watch for forever. Like,
But that's the thing about Steve. He'll like commit to an improv.
he is
and
so
then
funny.
Not break.
No, he's so funny. Oh my
You'll
God.
break before him.
I break before everyone every single time. Like I'm always laughing, and I'm excited to get to the breakfast scene because you guys will see how many times I laugh in episode 1. I'm breaking in episode 1. Multiple times I break character. Okay, so anyway, I'm pushing play. We're at 6:26. Pushing play right now. I wonder if anyone are reading. Are they able to follow along?
I'm looking at. I'm watching
Bethany.
your tweets. So
Bethany,
I should probably
watch
be doing
it. Bethany is modeling her wrist brace. Angela Kinsey is a genius and the funniest person on the planet. I love this scene. She's so funny. I'm just like,
the great thing about Angela is she brings so much, and then if you give her a note, she'd like.
Oh, she loves notes.
She like totally. I think we told her like to be like proud of it and ashamed at the same time, and like it comes across so well.
She's
it's
so
like,
great.
She's so like.
She's incredible to work with. There's the Lunchables.
Oh my God, so many. They had like 100 of those too, ready to go.
Yeah, and I will say, I'm gonna pause it. So Emily's sitting at the table on the other side. That was not in the script. Andrew, our director, came up with it. Our director, Andrew. Show the weird angles and the cool cinematic shots. It was all like, our director was so good, and it was his idea to have her sitting at the dinner table.
Yeah,
it was scripted that Emily walked in the room, but I think this is so funny.
Much better, yeah.
It's so good. But that was our director's idea. That was not scripted.
It made it a lot easier not to laugh when they started, or I got to laugh when they started just
because this is all improv
and killing each other. I could sit off camera and just literally die everything.
I know. This scene was so fun. This was the first scene where all the family sat down. This was the first time where we all shot together.
I was so nervous.
Was this your first scene you shot? No, your first scene was in the grocery store.
Yep.
Oh God,
your first day was the grocery store.
Grocery store. Was
but this was like, I was like, I'm sitting at a table with Colleen, Steve, and Angela.
I know, it was like, this was
die.
crazy. In my mind, I was like, these characters that have been living in my head for so long are sitting with me on my set. This is crazy. And I was so giddy, I couldn't stop laughing. And we did the scene once through like scripted, and then we started improving, and I just was not prepared for how funny they were gonna be. And most of the takes, Uncle Jim is screaming. And like, we had to keep taking it out because people, like producers were like, okay, It's really funny, but Steve is screaming for like 10 minutes because he was just like, "You're ruining breakfast!" Like it was like so funny, and I could not stop laughing. And we were so mean to Emily. Like,
oh my God.
we took out all this stuff that we were just so mean to Emily.
Emily, it got dark.
Yeah. So we are at, I'm gonna push play again.
Especially
Sorry.
with the salami.
I know the salami
Did
stuff.
you read the Bible? That was.
Read the Bible. Yeah, read the part where I say, "Don't you read the Bible?" In all of our takes, it's like Angela and Steve and I are like, "Read the Bible. Why don't you read the Bible? I wish you would read the Bible." Like we just like went on and on and on.
When it switched on me, you guys just went at me and wouldn't stop, and I just sat there and I was like, "The camera's on me. I'm crumbling." And Angela was at one point, right? "I'm gonna get you a copy of the Bible, and I'm gonna just glue it to your hand." And she just started laughing, and I was sitting like, "You can't do this."
You did such a good job, though. Okay, so we're at 7-Eleven, and I'm gonna push play. Episode 1. I don't know.
Not the convenience store.
Not that we're not at 7-Eleven, the convenience store. We're at 7 minutes, 11 seconds on Haters Back Off. So cue up your episode 1. I'm gonna push play right now. So Angela is trying to poke the thing with the fork.
A lot.
Keith never broke character. I don't think.
Keith was his character.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to break.
Yeah. She's giving me my test that she graded.
This was the audition scene for
Yes,
Bethany.
for Bethany. This was Angela's audition scene. And we actually cut a lot of the scene out, which is really sad, but the scene was too long. The cream shot out of my package. That cream would not come out. It took forever to get the cream to shoot out of that package. It would not work. It was so frustrating.
We ended up putting it in a syringe.
Yeah, we put it in a syringe and squirted it out of a syringe.
There was one take where he tried to do it, and it literally just went.
Just like dribbled down his hands.
And he said, "Oh, it shut out." Just continued.
The bloopers from this scene are my favorite bloopers from the whole show. I really hope we can post them because this is the scene. Here's the first time I think I laugh. I'm gonna find it. Okay, so
you
can see if you just watch me in this scene because you will see very soon I start to. That's improv. There I go. 8:13. Go to 8:13. I am laughing, straight up laughing because they started. That's when they started improving. Because he's like, "You're damn right, it's important." She goes, "Watch your language." He goes, "You're darn right, it's important." I started laughing. So watch at 8:13, I break character. That is break number 1. And we
did this about a bajillion times, and we knew about this in editing. That's how many times you broke. It's we cut out all the laughing.
We cut out as much as we could. It actually got to a point where our director Andrew got frustrated with me.
He was like, "Hey guys,
we were all laughing hysterically," and he came in and was like, "Guys, this is really great. I can't use any of it. So pull it together." And then Angela and Steve pulled it together. They are professional and were able to not laugh, and I am not. And they were just. I was so excited that day. I feel like when I'm excited, I can't.
You did fine. It's like
it was fine.
You were very professional on set. I don't want anyone to get the idea.
No,
that you were like,
I'm just saying that I was so excited. I couldn't stop. And I like to laugh. So, and they're very funny. So I laughed a lot. But I remember we did a few takes and I couldn't stop laughing. And Andrew came in, the director, and was like, "Colleen, I cannot use any of this. Stop." And I was like, "I'm really sorry." And I beat myself up that night. Remember, I went to, I was like, "I just feel like I ruined the show." I was so upset, but I couldn't stop laughing. So anyway, we're at 8:13. I am laughing right now. And I'm pushing play right now. 8:13. I'm laughing, and here comes Francesca.
Oh my God! Isn't this one of my audition scenes? I had
Yeah, well, your lines changed 800 times. The character of Emily was so hard to figure out because it was the newest character, and we found Franny last minute. Francesca was cast like salami. Yeah, what's a bag of salami? This is improv.
Got bullied. I got bullied, guys.
Yeah, you did. I'm pausing at 8:40. When Angela said, "Emily, you know what a bag of salami is." The first time she said that, Steve and I were like,
they died, and they were behind camera, and then I was trying to hold it, and I was just like this, and then you just saw me get red,
oh my God,
red, and then I just laughed every time I'm taking a breath. That's me literally being like
trying not to laugh. You did a good job at not breaking though. But the bag of salami thing went on for forever in the improv, and it's so funny. Like Angela coming, that was like my favorite line in this episode for a while because Angela improved. "You know what a bag of salami is."
And I think
that's
Steve
so
was
funny
like,
to me.
"Emily, I would take time to explain to you what a bag of salami is." You know what? It's not even worth it. They're not worth explaining a bag of salami.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this scene was her audition scene, and we changed it a million times. We rewrote the character and her scene so many times. It was, and the reveal of Emily was so important to us that we revealed her in the perfect way. That the scene with Emily took a long time to do, but this was one of her audition scenes, and I think it turned out really well. Like I love the scene. This is
great.
a great scene. Okay, so we're at 8:40 and I'm pushing play right now. So we all know what a bag of salami is. Look at you, cutie patootie.
Somebody's asking on Twitter, Lovesick Grande wants to know what's the story on the trophies in the kitchen.
Okay, I'll pause it. So 8:55, behind Miranda's head, there's trophies. There used to be a storyline, and actually there was a line that was cut. Yeah. Bethany makes trophies for Miranda. Miranda's whole life she's been sheltered and living at home. And so she's only been told she's incredible and amazing and talented. So she doesn't know any different. And she has won Tonys and she's won Emmys because her mom is telling her that she did. She's making her these fake trophies and giving them to her and saying like, you won an Emmy, to make Miranda think she's so talented. And that's why she says to Emily in the grocery store later in the episode, I'm gonna make her a YouTube trophy. She'll think she won the internet. So all the trophies around the house are things that Bethany has made for Miranda to show her how amazing she is. And there's originally a line in this scene where she's like, you don't need the internet. You've already won an Emmy and an Oscar. See, look. And she references them, but we cut that line. So
now they're just there.
Now they're just trophies all over the house. So we're at 8:55 in episode 1 of Haters Back Off.
Melanie wants to know how old Miranda is in the show. And
you will never know.
Miranda's timeless.
You will never know. Well, you will find out the age of Emily probably pretty soon. But
it's ambiguous.
It's ambiguous. Well, Miranda, I'm never gonna say the age of Miranda. I want you guys to think whatever age you think she is. I know how old she is in my head, but I'm never gonna say. I want you guys to just think whatever you think, because I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard people say they think she's 16. I've heard people say they think she's like 25 and still living at home.
If Miranda's 16, then Emily has to be like 8 or 10.
Well, originally Emily was 14, and that's what we wrote her as, and then. I mean, I love you, but you don't look 14. So she's a little bit older than that. But yeah, anyway, but Emily's in high school. And we're at 8:55, episode 1 of Haters Back Off. Please watch it with us. And I'm pushing play right now.
Is she taking the SAT? Is she not? We don't know.
We'll find out. So Emily is paying the bills. Is pissed. Emily, I have been busy.
Somebody was asking how she was able to pay the bill. She's putting a checkbook down on the table. Yeah. That's like Uncle Jim's checkbook. Yeah. But the insert didn't have Uncle Jim's name on it, so we didn't end up using it.
So it was like an insert.
Stranger's name on it.
It had some weird name on it, and it also said like.
We like had to fold it down.
No, it said like.
Weird.
I don't know. This is all improv though.
The sensitivity meter is so funny.
This is improv. Look, I'm laughing here too. There I go. At 9:29, I'm pretending like I'm like doing something else, but I'm definitely laughing. And actually, what I was doing for a lot of this scene was shoving food. We're paused. I paused at 9:29. Did I not tell them that? No. I'm sorry. Pause at 9:29. That's where I'm laughing. So queued up to 9:29. I'm sure this is so frustrating for you guys to try to watch along. I'm sorry. But at 9:29, I'm laughing. And one thing I did to try to stop myself from laughing was shove food in my mouth. The day before, we had shot the popsicle scene where I got really sick on popsicles. And now we were shoving cinnamon rolls in our mouth for hours. And so Chris came on set because I kept shoving cinnamon rolls in my mouth to eat them to stop myself from laughing. And he came in and he was like, hey, I know you're laughing. Don't hide it by putting food in your mouth. We can still see you laughing and you're going to get sick. So you can tell every time I'm shoving food in my mouth, it's because I'm trying not to laugh. But I probably ate like 30 cinnamon rolls that day. Okay, we're at 9:29 and I'm pushing play now. I'm laughing again right here. If you watch me in the rest of the scene, I laugh. I laugh again in a second. Miranda's one step closer to becoming very famous. And I love the Tupperware cups. The Tupperware cups were in the script.
Emily dips.
Emily dips out.
Out of here.
But we specifically wrote in the script, they clink their cups together, their Tupperware cups. Like that was very important to me that they had Tupperware cups because that's what I grew up on. Grandma had those exact same ones. Dad, do you remember that? To me, trying not to laugh, as per usual. This was a part of the audition scene for Bethany too. I remember doing this with her. And then the stuff with the cat, when I go, what about the cat? That was all improv. And we improved about that cat forever. We talked about the cat being in the Bible. Like, do you remember all that? We're like, God. I'm about to laugh here. I'm pausing it at 10:22.
The strangest choice ever made.
When Jim was just going.
So good,
so
but
funny.
So weird.
No, but I am definitely laughing. You will see. We're at 10:22 and I'm pushing play right now. Watch Colleen go. Here she goes. She's about to laugh. look at trying not to, and I didn't laugh. I did
Yeah,
okay.
no, you did
but you
fine.
can tell I want
Very
to.
professional.
Very professional. Bethany's saying, I love you no matter what. Alrighty. The bowl of like fruit behind me is real, and it was actually molded and disgusting.
Yeah,
it was so gross.
I don't know if they poked holes in it or what, but
it was the same fruit the whole 2 months of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The whole 2 months of shooting, that fruit in the background was the same.
And it like by the end of it, it was so gross and like gelatinous.
I love this shot. Just come up to you in the middle of set with a gross piece of fruit and just go, "Hey, do you want it?" And just like put it in your face.
So this is Patrick. When Patrick is watching all the videos, I'm gonna pause it really quick. We're at 11:09. We shot that the last day of shooting.
Oh yeah.
So we had all this stuff of us in the bedroom and eating breakfast together was shot on like the 3rd or 4th day of shooting, and 2 months later we shot Patrick in his room watching the episode, watching the video. In real life? Do you want them to know how old you are, Franny Pants?
It's a secret.
Oh, snap. We're paused at 11:09. Are there any
drive? Ha ha
ha. Alana wants to know who broke character the most on set. Definitely Colleen.
Shut up.
Let's see. Are we waiting for people to catch up? What are we doing?
I was going to have you guys look at questions and answer questions for a sec. Yeah, we're at 11:09, episode 1 of Haters Back Off, if you guys want to join in on this.
Aaliyah wants to know, how long has the idea of Emily been in your head?
Oh my gosh, Jenna, Angela just texted. Jenna Fisher Instagrammed about the show today.
Oh, that's nice.
So nice.
That's sweet.
Anyway, okay, so that's so sweet. What? Emily. Okay, so we had come up with the idea of Emily a few years ago. Whenever we got together, Perry and Gigi, our showrunners, and our other like 2 head writers, we wanted another character that could kind of ground the family. We needed a straight man. Because we looked at shows that we really liked, and we're like, okay, with Miranda, it was, whenever I've performed as Miranda, it's always important to have a straight man. Whenever I'm on stage, the best thing to have the comedy really play through is to have someone who's totally normal against this crazy person. And one good example of that is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. I love the way that episode came out, and it's because he was a normal, sane person who was like, what are you saying? What's a chesticle? Like, he's calling me out on my stupidity. And we needed a character in the main group of people who could do that. So we threw around different ideas. We wanted to be a neighbor for a while, a friend from school. For a while, it was Miranda's #1 fan. We eventually, and then we thought about having a brother for a second. So it was Miranda had a brother. And then we landed on a sister. And at first I was like, I don't know about this. I've never talked about having a sister before. And that's really weird. And then, but then I slept on it and I woke up, I was like, wait, no, a sister is genius. Like, that's so cool. And it'll be such a fun surprise for the fans. And so anyway, the character's been around maybe almost 3 years.
Yeah. If you go back into some of the Miranda videos too, like Emily's mentioned.
Emily's mentioned.
Or like hinted at.
There was a tweet I did at the beginning of this year that said Emily was here on Miranda's Twitter. And like Emily hacked into her Twitter.
So if you go back, you can actually find stuff.
There's Miranda's mentioned in Emily, and Miranda's mentioned Patrick. Patrick's in the book. Patrick is in the self-help book right there. So the characters I've been winking at for a long time, but Emily is the newest character. And Emily, even though we come up with a sister a few years ago, it took us a long time to develop the character and figure out who she was and what she likes and her passions. It was a hard character for us to figure out. I feel like she's a combination of you and me and our sister Rachel and the fans. Like, Emily is like a combination.
So much.
Yeah, on set.
I came to Chris a lot, and I was just like, Chris, just kind of, I need you to help me walk through this. Like, she need the sarcastic meaning behind this and all that.
And also, we liked the relationship between Miranda and my sister Rachel when I worked with her. So like a lot of Emily's clothes were pulled from Rachel's style and my style, just kind of normal everyday girl who doesn't want to stand out. But Francesca was not a huge fan of some of her clothes. She was like, why do you want us all to be the ugliest people in the world? I was like,
it's that you actually agreed with me was ugly. It was like this dirt brown, big sweater jacket thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like the zipper.
Instead
of the zipper that went to here, it went like oddly to
it was
belly
weird.
button. It didn't go all the way down. It didn't actually go all the way up. It was like a weird
Your costumes was a constant
I couldn't
interesting
even-
situation on set, but
My heart stopped when I had to put it on.
I remember the first day I saw you. It was before we were about to shoot all the pictures, and you were cast 2 days before. Like, we didn't have an Emily until 2 days before we shot. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
And so she was cast 2 days before. She gets to set, and I see her, and she was wearing a costume, and the pants were really baggy, like huge, and like weird baggy pants. And I was like, no, those pants are not right. Do you have skinny jeans? Put her in skinny jeans. And Francesca looks at me. She hadn't even said hi to me yet, and she goes, thank you, and hugged me. And I was like, what? Who is this girl? She was so happy.
Pants.
She was like, thank you so much. She was so glad she didn't have to wear the pants.
They had me in like the pants that you could fit like 12 people in, and then like I had to go to Colleen. I was like, Colleen, can we talk about this? Like, they put me in a sports bra, but they put me in.
Oh
one that's
yeah, they're trying to
literally
squish down her
for
boobies.
infants. And I was like, Colleen, can we talk about this too? I can't breathe. Please, I promise. I won't ask for anything
Oh
else
my
the
gosh.
entire time. And she did it for me, and I was like, I can breathe and I can sit down. I'm happy.
Yeah, no, you were great though. And your costumes, I think, look great because everything's just very like nondescript.
And those glasses are actually a model of my first pair of reading glasses, not my cool ones that I have now.
Wait, those are what? They were your first. Wait, what?
Those glasses that they picked, we were trying on all those, and you hated all of them.
Mhm.
Remember, because they were giving me all like the John Lennon,
Yeah, they were weird.
circular ones. And then we were doing the reading, and I put on my actual reading glasses, which look exactly like the ones that Emily has now. And Colleen was like, "Why can't you just wear those? Like, just put those on. Those are perfectly plain and nerdy." And I was like, "I need new reading glasses." But yeah, let's do it.
No,
And
they
I
just
got
were generic. I wanted something generic because Emily is not supposed to be like
stand out.
super cool
Yeah.
or stand out. She wants
Yeah.
to blend in. She doesn't want people to notice her because she doesn't want people to find out about her family and her weird home life, and she
Mhm.
just wants to be left alone. And so she would never wear something that people
She
would go
wouldn't
like,
wear, like, huge
cool
glasses,
glasses
yeah.
or like cool outfits. She
Artsy.
wants to just blend in.
Jean
And
jackets,
so,
no
anyway,
dresses,
So we've been paused for a while. Do you see a question you want to answer?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
I'm
we
looking
are
for
at 11:09 in episode 1 of Haters Back Off. For those of you, I'm hot, I'm like sweating, I'm so excited, all the things. Okay, so we are watching, thanks, Mike. So we are watching episode 1 at 11 minutes and 9 seconds. And I'm gonna push play. We are watching together and we're telling behind the scenes secrets. I don't know if people keep popping in here. 11:09, I'm pushing play right now. Okay, so it's playing. That's practically everyone there is, Miranda says. Your video's gone viral. Why would you say that? Bethany thinks viral is a bad thing. That's because in real life, I thought viral was a bad thing. Christopher's wife called me when my first video went viral for real. This is another one of Uncle Jim's audition scenes, by the way. When Jessica called me, his wife called me and said, "You have a viral video." I thought that was a bad thing. And I was like, oh my God, what happened to my video? So that came from real life because I'm an idiot and didn't know what viral meant. This is improv from Bethany. Angela's
That's
hilarious.
so funny.
When she leans down and goes, "What are you talking about?" And originally, I'm gonna pause. We're on Emily in school at 11:48. That's where I've just paused, 11:48, if you want to cue out.
It's also about the time of day when we shot that. It was like
Yes,
lunchtime,
we shot.
and the
Oh,
bells
this
would
was
ring and we'd have to hide
crazy.
This
Colleen.
was the most
I remember this.
stressful.
So stressful. So we shot
Day
at an
of my
actual
life.
high school that was in session. And we have Miranda sings with her sister, which is a huge secret,
Mhm.
at a high school. And so everyone knew we were shooting there. The kids were all excited. I kept seeing Miranda and like getting so excited. I was shooting at their school. And we were shooting with a huge secret. And it was so scary. We had like secret rooms we had to go hide in.
Yeah,
It was crazy. And then at one point, we had like 100 extras or something of kids. And we were supposed to tell everyone like that it was a friend, like Emily. We were not supposed to say it was a sister, but the people who were in charge of the extras were like, "We're going from the moment when Miranda comes up to her sister," and I'm like,
Colleen's face
"Stop!"
was red. She was like, "No,
I was like,
no,
"Stop,
this is
please."
horrible."
She's like, "We're going from where Miranda's sister comes in," and like screaming it across the high school. It's like on the intercom. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna get revealed. I was so stressed that day.
I told Andrew that I felt like Beyonce with you because when we were shooting the scene, mid-scene, the bell rang. And it wasn't like a normal bell. It was like a weird like
Mhm.
zzz, buzz. And then all these kids like came through the hallway towards me and Colleen. He was like, cut. And then everyone, the first AD and the team got me and Colleen by
Like
the
rushed
shoulders
us into
and
the
like,
secret
rushed us
room.
into this room and closed the door.
Because all these kids came out of their classrooms. It was like crazy. But anyway, The scene that we just watched, the reason I paused is because Angela she improv, what are you guys talking about, to me and Steve? And that improv originally went on forever too. She's like, did you guys want some snacks? I can make you snacks. And I'm like, go away, Mom. She's like, okay. And she starts going, but I'll be in the kitchen if you need me. She's like whispering. It was so funny. But again, the episode was like an hour long, so we had to cut a lot of improv. Okay, so we're at 11:48 in episode 1, and I'm pushing play, right?
I had a good question. Gratia, I think, is Emily vegetarian? I don't see her eat meat when everybody else did. I don't know. I don't think she's vegetarian, but she does not eat the processed stuff. That
she's like pure and like.
I also just don't think she really trusts her mom.
No, she gets like prepackaged food. Like the stuff that she eats is like she goes and gets a salad from the grocery store on the way home.
She wants
or the
to
cut
live.
Up fruit or whatever.
Yeah,
she wants to make it to college.
So we're at 11:48, pushing play right now. So Emily's walking down the hall with her friends, Chrissy and Clay. And Chrissy and Clay originally were in more episodes. And the way the show ended up going about, like we kept changing the show so much that they ended up, now you don't even know Chrissy's name, but she was a bigger character before and so was Clay, but we changed the show so much. It's crazy how much the show changes while you're on set. That's something I wasn't expecting. I'm pausing it. Sorry guys, we're never gonna get through this episode. I paused it 12:13. One thing I was not anticipating was how much you rewrite on set. Like, because we wrote the whole show, we had all 8 episodes done. We go up to shoot the show in Vancouver, and in between scenes, we're rewriting scenes, rewriting plot lines, rewriting characters.
You rewrite even in editing. Like after everything's shot, you can organize things differently and bring in different improv to rewrite scenes in the show.
It is crazy. So that's something that I was not anticipating at all. So like when we shot this, her 2 friends were in a lot of episodes. And then later we were like, we really wanted to keep the scenes all about the family. Like we wanted to try to keep out as many other people as we could, because the show, to us, the most important thing was telling the relationships of the family members. And we didn't want to spend time on scenes with other characters that were smaller parts. So we ended up just writing more stuff between like the sisters and the parents and whatever. So
I think it kind of also narrows down Emily and how she like doesn't really have
a lot of friends.
But can we talk about this, Colleen, the meet and greet scene?
The meet and greet scene, that was hectic.
Can we just talk about, I think this is like the 4,008.
Oh my God, how many? I can't wait to, I'm going to release
this scene
I eventually I'm going to release auditions. I want to.
No, you're not.
If I'm allowed, if I get permission to, eventually, in like a few months, I want to like make a video. Like I'd be with you and be like, let's watch your audition and make you watch your audition.
Oh God!
And because I know Francesca has like 4,000 auditions, but this one, we did this scene. I could do it right now. It'll be burned in my brain. I probably can't, like, if 10 years from now, I probably wouldn't remember any lines from the show. But this scene, I will know for the rest of my life.
No one forgot their lines in this.
This scene,
never
I did thousands of times.
We did it in your office. Your office right there. And we were in this room, and I was like, you were like, this chair is going to be the sign.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, because, we auditioned so many Emilys. This part was so hard for us to find. Francesca came about near the end of auditions. But we auditioned for months. Like, I swear, thousands of girls for Emily. It was so hard to find Emily. And this was the audition scene. And I did this scene with, I can't even tell you how many times I did this scene. It was crazy.
And then we spent like an hour doing it because we kept going back and forth. We were trying not to make Emily sound mean or like angry, and Miranda couldn't sound like. Yeah,
one of your auditions, you were there for like an hour and a half. When we were doing the scene over and over.
I came in and I was like, Emily's gonna be mean, and then I left being like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we did it every way. Like it was crazy. The scene was Anyway, we're at 12:13 at the meet and greet, and I'm pushing play right now. So Miranda's saying that you can all come to the meet and greet. She's passing out headshots. I love that jacket on you. I think it's so cute.
I love it. It's just sweat. It's just
you look cute. There's the headshots. He's passing them out to all the fans at the school. I cannot believe how many times we did this scene. I think you did great in it, though.
You improv'd a lot in this.
Yeah, pretty much all of it. Where I'm like, oh, put it above your band. Like all that's improv. The homeschooled line.
Chris, you were showing me with that line for so long. You're like, there's a way you have to say you're homeschooled. It's so specific.
I know.
I love this guy. Get away from. He was so dedicated.
Yeah, he was great.
Invested.
Still passing out headshots. Yeah, I feel like anything that I say not to Emily in the scene was improv. Nose to nose. How did we not laugh? I feel like I couldn't do that.
I
to you
held
right
my
now.
breath.
I did too. I was like, I wonder what I ate. We like passed out sandwiches a minute ago.
I just drank coffee, Colleen.
We have, Francesca, pause. Okay, pause it at 13:14. There's a statue behind us of like this cat, like going like this. And there's an incredible photo that I can't wait to post. And
I'm just gonna give you guys a sneak peek.
Okay, a Francesca and I holding our boobs with that cat. And we've been dying to post it since we shot this scene. Do you
I've
have
been
it?
dying. I do. And I sent it to my agent right when I took it. And she was like, I wonder who made Colleen hold her boobs. Probably you. And I was like, jokes. It was both of us. Oh, darn. Hold on.
I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Here, I can get it.
It's my phone screen.
Oh yeah, your phone screen is like,
What's
the
happening?
Is it polarized?
You
I
had
don't
a
know.
polarized phone screen. Oh wait, there.
Oh, there we
go.
There we
It's
go.
me and Francesca holding our boobs with the cat in the background of that scene. Okay, so this is a good question.
Okay, so this is from Katie in this instance, but I've actually heard it a few times
Me
on
too.
Twitter. Why did the computer say Miranda sings 08, but Miranda sings didn't exist yet? Because that happens in episode 4.
Right. So this is actually true. Like I've seen that a few times too. My channel was called Miranda Sings 08. Sings was not Miranda's last name. It was just when I created the channel, I was like, at the time, people would make YouTube channels and emails saying like their name and what they did, like Skater Boy 323 or like John Gamer. And so I wanted to be Miranda Sings. And I actually had seen some other accounts where they called themselves like Sarah Sings. And I was kind of imitating those accounts. And so Sings was just her thing that she did. And 08 was that was the year that I graduated from college. So that's why I put that year, not Miranda, but me, Colleen. So anyway, the Miranda Sings 08 was what the YouTube channel was called, but it was not Miranda's last name. Miranda's last name is not Sings. And I actually, like a year into doing the character, Jim Caruso came to me and he's like, Miranda needs a last name. What's her last name? And I was like, I don't think she'd ever reveal it. Like for safety reasons, I feel like she'd be like, I can't let anyone know my name. And he's like, so you're just gonna call yourself Miss Sings? And I was like, yeah, I guess Sings is her stage name. And so yes, the channel is called Miranda Sings, but it wasn't her last name and it wasn't her stage name. It was what she does. She's like, I'm a singer, so I'm calling my channel Miranda Sings 08. But I've seen that question a lot. People are like, oh, there's a mistake. The computer says Miranda Sings, but she comes up with the last name Sings in episode 4. Mm-hmm. It's not a mistake. That's like actually what happened. So anyway,
I love this question. Modern Ecstasy wants to know, did the events in the show actually happen in Miranda's life, or was it just Miranda acting?
Some of them happened and some of them did not. So some of the events, especially.
I think. Wait, are you asking if Miranda thinks that this is real? What's happening?
Oh wait,
to
what's
her,
the question?
or
Oh,
if it's
literally. Is it gone?
her acting with?
The show actually happened in Miranda's life, or is it just Miranda acting? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So if we're in Miranda's world, like this all happened. This is Miranda's true life. This is not Miranda acting. This is Miranda's true life.
It's kind of weird.
It's confusing. It's weird because Miranda said she has actors in the show,
yeah,
and she's a show. It's confusing, and
it's a little bit meta.
But yeah, this is supposed to be reenactment, I guess. But Miranda can't act, so it's not supposed to be acting because Miranda is not an actor. So anyway, okay, so we are at 13:14 of episode 1 of Haters Back Off. I'm pushing play right now. So Miranda's taking the meet and great sign out the door.
Someone was asking why it said meet and great.
Because Miranda can't spell.
Because she's dumb.
Because Miranda's dumb.
She's dumb.
She's an idiot.
That's why Emily has to call her out on it, because
she's dumb.
She's Miranda's dumb.
OK Market. I love the name of that store. It took us a while to come up with it. I think Christopher did. OK Market.
Well, it came out of the writer's room. I'm not going to take credit for it.
This guy.
No, yeah, we pitched a bunch of different ideas around. Yeah, this guy was great.
This man was
so
nice.
He was just like he was just a background player, and we put him in the spot, and he fit it so well. That happened to us a lot on the show.
Yeah, a lot of our extras were.
And he didn't break once, and Angela was being hysterical. She was like, "Can you just?"
This was the first day of shooting. All of the grocery store scenes were shot the very first day.
I was terrified.
My manager's right there. Don't squish the bread, she says. She's so cute.
Angela was so sweet. She walked me over to set.
This is your first scene.
This is my very first scene. My eyes are really wide because I don't know what's happening. But Angela walked me over to set and gave me a little pep talk before.
All the producers are hiding behind the aisle behind Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're all huddled together, all of our chairs, and we're just watching the monitors like this right there. We're literally right there.
I had the same feeling as you after My first day, I literally left. I was like, damn, I just sucked because
Yeah, I know.
I was so nervous.
Yeah, I was so nervous too. I was glad I didn't have to act the first day, that I could get used to being on set and like producing was great the first day. I loved it.
Producing was great every day.
Well, yeah, but it was really cool to be able to be a producer on the first day and not act. Okay, so now we're zooming in on Miranda, looking at the comments. She has 58 views. Keep trying. It says, oh, by the way, I'm gonna pause it. Sorry, y'all.
We're at 15:04 and we're paused.
But I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
Forget what I just said.
Well, no, just do your thing. Keep it paused. But I'm gonna pause it on when it hits the computer screen because this is actually okay. So I pause it at 15:01. If you look at the related videos, it says the second video down is girl singing. That's me at 4 years old singing at a church. That thumbnail is me. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then
you
2 more
Angel
down.
Wings?
Yeah, I am. And then 2 more down, it says Beach Girls. That's Rachel and my friend Christina and me suntanning in Australia. And the screen name is Heather L. Sings after my best friend Heather Lundstedt. So there's little secrets like that too. Down at the bottom it says K9 Corey, spelled Corey, and that's Corey.
That was my actual screening when I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, K9 Corey. So we got to throw little things in there like that every once in a while too, which was fun. So anyway, that was at 15:01, and I'm pushing play now. Keep trying. Caliber 13, by the way, was my very first screen name, my first AIM name. Caliber 13, but since that was already taken on YouTube, they had to add a 3 to it. But Cat Lover 13 was my first screen name. That's why we chose it. Uncle Jim just walked in. You got a good question?
Yes. Lachlan, hi, wants to know why is Miranda homeschooled and not Emily?
Okay, I'm pausing it at 15:26. Miranda's homeschooled because she needs to be. She needs to be sheltered. I feel like Miranda probably went to school originally and was made fun of, and the teachers told her she couldn't do something, and she threw a fit. And so they ended up pulling her out and homeschooling her. But Emily would want to go to regular school and doesn't need the attention that Miranda needs. Emily's fine. So
I think
Emily,
it also plays to Bethany's character as well. That like, oh, that one's fine. She can just go to school. This one, like, she needs the extra. Like, she needs it. So I'll homeschool her. Like, I feel like it's a combination between Miranda,
Bethany and Miranda.
Yeah.
Miranda, she needs to be homeschooled. And Emily would never want to be homeschooled. Oh my God. If her mom tried to homeschool her, she'd be like, I'm leaving and I already registered myself, and which she probably did anyway.
She'd leave in the middle of the night. Oh, she definitely did.
Okay, so we're at 15:26. I'm pushing play right now. So they're looking at the video and they got the first hate comment. You suck, don't make any more videos. This was another audition scene with
It was
Jim.
tough making those avatars. We modeled it after the actor that comes later.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah,
the struggle of making
Facebook,
the blue.
The Facebook looking like blue avatar. We cast the guy and then we shaped the avatar. But what bugs me is here, it's black and white, and later at the fish store, it's blue and blue,
Mm-hmm.
the avatar. That drove me crazy.
Well, Dad adjusted the colors on the screen, so.
So they're running through the house. He's gonna get me. This whole sequence was, it was scripted, but it was Andrew, our director's idea, to have me like running around the house and the camera following us around and be absolute chaos. And I think it turned out really cool. I really like the way he shot it.
Our camera guys were so good.
Yeah, camera guys were
steady.
amazing.
The guy who just held it and ran around was so good.
I just want to point out, I'm pausing at 16:21, that behind Uncle Jim, there's like happy birthday streamers on the wall. And those were for a photo shoot. We were like just taking pictures like Christmas time and birthday time to have photos on the walls around the set. And they put the streamers, the happy birthday streamers, up for the birthday photo shoot, and they just never took them down. And that was how it was on set. Like there was one day where Steve and I were in the Miranda room waiting to shoot a scene, and he pulled up in this this doll that, like, you know, those dolls that like open up and there's another doll inside, and what are those things called? Russian doll. And he opened it up and a piece fell out and fell on the floor, and he just started laughing. He's like, well, and left it there. And that was how it was on set. Like you could crumple up a piece of trash and throw it on the ground, and that was okay. And then 2 days later, we went back to the bedroom to film another scene, and someone had stepped on the Russian doll and it was in pieces all over the floor. And Steve laughed again. He was like, this is perfect. I love that we are on set and we can throw garbage on the floor and break things, and it doesn't matter. It actually makes it better because the house looks more lived in.
Of puzzle pieces without box, just in bags and
everywhere. Yeah,
everything.
puzzle pieces everywhere, trash everywhere. Okay, so we are
There's
at
a pad once on the
16,
floor.
a pad, 1621, and the entertainment system behind Uncle Jim, the thing that all the crap is on, looks identical to one that we had growing up. I don't know how they found that.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like the one we
Well,
had
we
in our
didn't even
house
tell
growing up.
them. They just
They were
like, it just
incredible.
appeared.
Well, they
yeah.
had pictures
Oh
from
yeah,
our
yeah,
house.
that's true.
Okay, so 1621, I'm pushing play right now. He's saying, stay calm. I love the music you hear. He says, just stay calm. Like, I thought that was so cool. Patrick's in here.
Patrick with all his swords.
Yeah, he's great. Emily, or Bethany with her snacks.
We used to eat those as kids, those Vienna
Yeah, we did.
sausages.
They were so
With
gross.
the-
No, not with the
With the
toothpick so
toothpicks.
much. I think we ate them with
Looking
a
at the
fork or
comment.
with our fingers.
Angel's trying to cross it up.
Angela's so good. She's so funny. And there's above Patrick's head, you can't really see it, but there's a Merry Christmas like hanging sign, and that has been in my house at home in Santa Barbara like for years. I'm pushing pause right now. It's Patrick at 1704. He's pulling the wiener out.
That's happening.
Well,
Stop it.
he is. He's pulling out the Vienna sausage wiener. Anyway, Eric, the actor of Patrick, did not tell me he was going to do this. It was what he was supposed to do was take a bite and say it's safe, and then Miranda was going to take it from him and eat it. He did not tell me he was going to suck on it and stick the whole thing in his mouth and hand it to me until we did the scene. And so in the scene, he does it. I'm like, you little butt. Because I can't, obviously, while we're shooting, I'm not going to ruin a take and be like, ew. I was just like, all right, and grabbed it. And Christopher loves the way that I grab the Vienna sausage wiener. It's like this. It's like a weird like claw. I don't pick it up like with my fingers. I'm like, oh thank God. I'm like pick it up. So weird decision. And Christopher brought that up in the editing room.
Weirdest
So
class.
now we're at 1704 and I'm pushing play right now. So Eric is about to, he puts that whole wiener in his mouth. The way I grab it. Yeah, but I ate so many of his Vienna sausage wieners that he had sucked on that day. And I have to say that those so gross. And I'm like spitting them out. There was like chunks in them, like grainy, hard bone chunks.
Ew.
So gross.
That's why you were spitting
And those
them
things
out?
smell
so much
bad.
food just falling out of Colleen's mouth all the time.
It smelled so bad. Those Vienna sausages smelled so bad. How are you going to get Miranda on TV? She sounds Southern right there. How are you going to get Miranda on TV? Angela Kinsey is from the South, so she's got a little twang every once in a while in her voice. Fish store. Now we're headed into the fish store. This is Harvey. I'm pausing at 18 minutes.
There's so much going on here.
I know. So this, in the background of this fish store behind, there's a little fashion store. The name of the store is Gwen's Fashions, named after my mother.
This is all inside too, like that.
Yeah, this
outside
whole
area
thing is
like not
inside on
outside.
the soundstage.
And then there's a Thai place called Miss G's.
You love that, MSG.
MSG's Thai.
He
Come on.
loves that.
That's hilarious.
So this is Harvey, a good friend of mine. And when we were writing the show, when we wrote this character, I had him in mind. I always thought he'd be really good at this part. And I told him, like, when we wrote the first episode, like a really long time ago, I was like, there's this part in my show I think he'd be really good for. And then we found out we were casting the show in Canada, other than the leads. Like the 5 leads were going to be from here, and then everyone else we were casting in Canada. So I had to tell him, I was like, oh, that part I thought you'd be great for. Actually, we're casting it in Canada, but you know, maybe if we get another season, they'll let us cast other people from LA. And then we were doing the table read in LA, where we just read the script with all the producers there, and we needed people to come in and read. And I asked, I was like, hey, do you want to come in and read that part? Because we need someone to come read, and I think he'd be great for the role. Anyway, he came in and read, and everyone loved him. Like the producers, the casting director were like, who is this guy? He's so good. And so they cast him, and it was so cool. Like I was so excited. I was like, my plan worked to perfection. He got to do it. He's so funny. And it was just awesome to have like a friend from LA like up and in my show. It was really cool. So anyway, we're at 18 minutes and I'm pushing play. Cue up to 18 minutes, y'all. Pushing play at 1, 2, 3, go. So we are in the fish store. I think the fish store looks great. I think they did such a good job. Our set deck, like our set designers were
He did so good.
Good. Like I can't even believe how good They are. Like their job. It was incredible. Like to see our world come to life.
Someone named Jenny wants to know why we chose a fish store. We just thought it was funny.
We just thought it was funny. Yeah, that
like
we
a
had
weird
worked at a
spot.
fish store. We wanted to give him a weird job, and we thought a fish store was good.
I love Eric's just permanent like squat.
I know. What a weirdo.
The way you say "good girl"
I
in
know.
this moment is like.
To be a good girl.
I thought it was so funny. I don't know if
That's
other people
improv.
find it funny, but just the way she said it.
He's
Every
so
time
weird.
we were editing this, I was
This is
like,
all improv. Anytime it's basically Angela and me, it ended up being improv.
so can we pause real quick?
Yes.
I want to say bye to everybody.
It's 18:52.
My wife is texting me. I gotta go home, but
Okay.
I want to say thank you guys for watching and goodbye and goodbye. Good to see you.
Bye. Thanks for
Um,
coming. See you later, bro.
High fives all around.
Okay.
Okay.
We're almost done. We're at 18 minutes. It's only 10 minutes left. Okay, so 18 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm gonna push play. Sorry, we'll get through this.
Stop making it sound like it's a hassle. You guys
I know,
are
it's-
enjoying it. Let's
I
be
hope they're
honest. Come
enjoying
on.
There's Miranda saying she doesn't want to be in one place for too long. She'll become a target. It's so weird to watch it without like sound. Angela
I just
drops
say,
the thing right there.
My 95-year-old grandmother literally called me just laughing. And I was
Really?
like, Nanny, what's happening? What's happening? And she was like, I'm watching my show. The fish. And that's all she said. And I knew exactly what she was talking about. This entire scene
I love this
just
scene.
is glorious.
The Phil, the fish store manager, is a YouTuber. He's on a YouTube channel called Conversations with My 2-Year-Old, and I love that channel. And I think he's super talented. And we were trying to cast that role, and he's Canadian. And I was like, we need to cast someone Canadian. I'd love to put some YouTubers in the show. And so we reached out to him, and we're like, hey, do you want to do this part? And I think he did a really, really good job. He's so funny, so nice.
He also just had to hold a fish.
Yeah, he had to
like
hold that
this
fish bag like this for all
all
day
day.
for 2 days.
just arm
Took us 2 days to shoot
arm
this scene.
strength and all new high.
And yeah, his hand was so sore, but he was so great. I'm so glad he got to do it. Like he's so good in this scene.
He's not even really holding it with enough grip. Like,
Yeah, he's great. But it was hard because everyone wanted us to have YouTubers on the show, but at this point we're telling Miranda's story, and Miranda's not famous yet, and so Miranda doesn't know any YouTubers yet. And I want to use the YouTubers in the future if we get to do a season 2 to show like when Miranda starts to get popular and meeting other YouTubers. And I didn't want to like use YouTubers as actors in this season and then not be able to use them in the other season as themselves. And so anytime we did get to use a YouTuber, I was really excited, and I feel like we got creative. And he's amazing. He's so good, and I love his YouTube channel.
you have to stand like a human being.
Yeah, this is all improv. This is all fun. A lot of the
Humans
show's
don't
improv.
stand like that.
I love this. And back to one, and action, and go, and act, and scene. Go, now.
Scene, now. Perfect.
Living with
Living
crazy.
with crazy.
The writers of that book on the top are showrunners, Perry and Gigi, 2 writers on the show. I love her.
It's so weird seeing the phone conversations cut together.
Yeah.
Because like when we did that, I was just laying on the couch alone,
Mm-hmm.
just talking and saying my lines, and Angela was probably like alone. And now I see
Yeah.
together, and I'm like, wow, that's not at all what I expected her to
Yeah.
be saying on the other side. You're just a fun stopper.
Yeah, she's so funny. So where we are in the episode, for anyone new, Bethany is about to hang up on Emily, telling her to bring her fancy wrist guard. Thank you. Hang up. Poor Emily. So frustrated. There's Eric.
Gwen's Fashions.
Gwen's Fashions in the back. He's looking at the fish.
Yes.
The fish being dead was a debacle. Like it took forever to switch out the fish from living fish to dead fish. They were obviously not real dead fish. The ones behind us are like just orange sponges because it was kind of blurry. But those fish that are in the tank that you can see felt real, looked real.
It's kind of scary.
It was really weird. And you could open their mouth and shove. They were actually shoving gravel in their mouths. This scene too, where he's talking about the dead fish and the sad music comes on. We were trying to figure out what kind of music to put in. We kept putting like quirky, weird music, and it was like, it felt too much like we were trying to make it a funny moment. But once we put in the sad music, it made it so funny. It sounds like it's like a soap opera, and it's like a real devastating moment that the fish are dying. We thought it was so funny. And so we put in some sad music and then talked to our composer about it. And we're like, can you write something really sad and soap opera sounding? And he did a great job. I love the music here. It's so funny.
Oh my God.
The
Eric
wrong
looks like
fish.
he's about to cry.
I know. I love when he goes, I haven't practiced this. He's so
He just
good.
really looks like he's about to break down in tears.
I keep getting comments too on how gross all our hair looks, which I love because our hairdresser was amazing and was so good at making us look so gross. Every day he'd put stuff in our hair to make it look greasy and dirty.
Put some oil in my hair at one point.
Dead, yeah. You had like the cleanest looking hair of everybody. But the rest of us looked, especially me, just, my hair got ruined.
He put this weird black dye thing in Angela's hair at one point.
Oh yeah,
she started to become blonde again.
So we're at the part of the episode where they're talking about taping fish to the sides of the tanks.
Do you know how much of that sandwich? Oh, okay.
This is fun. And I have the commercial that Miranda shot. I have it, and I have it on my phone. Christopher and I shot it during a break, and I'm going to edit it together and put it on the Miranda channel, I think, of like the fish store commercial.
What? That's amazing.
I hope, yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at the footage, so I don't know if we actually have it together. We did it during like a lunch break. So the fish store manager just came in. He was great. He was a really sweet guy to work with. Harvey, he's here.
Hey, boss. Look at this big stain.
Look at, when Steve throws the fish in the fish tank and lands, we were all like,
accident.
It was an accident.
Totally
He didn't mean to. It totally made it. I love this, that Miranda thinks that is the man. What an idiot. There's lipstick on my teeth. That's the guy who wants to kill me. I've never noticed that. This scene we did so many times. Do you remember when you're like trying to stop Patrick?
Yeah. There was a whole choreographer there being like, all right, Eric, this is how you spin.
Yeah, he had a stunt double.
Then he had a stunt double for his big toss.
Right, here is the stunt double.
Ooh.
And then it's Eric again.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Oh, this is so sad. I wrote it. I wrote the comment. You know, I have to say that this was the first time we did a scene together that was like more real. And I remember us being like, this is hard to be mean to each other and like sad. And
this was kind of after shooting for a little bit, so we got to know each other really well. And I was like, I'm having so much
love
trouble
this
being
shot.
into you.
So right now I'm gonna pause it. I'm pausing at 25:07, and it's the shot of me like from above. Our set was so cool because there was no, you could take it apart, put it back together, so you can move walls back, you can move the roof off. So they moved the roof off and put the camera up and like had it spinning down on me, and it was so cool. And then the shot that it's about to go to, they pulled the wall away and the camera was like right up in my face. I love this scene so much at 25:07.
Definitely one of the hardest scenes to do. Harder than some of our other emotional scenes.
This scene, we barely knew each other at this point. And later in the season when we had emotional scenes, we knew each other so well. It was like easier to act together. But we barely knew each other. And
I remember we sat in like Bethany's room while they were like, had to take apart the set to put everything in. And we sat in Bethany's room just like at 2
a.m. And we had like a heart-to-heart and talked about
life.
And we talked about like acting and like because every actor is different in how they like strike emotion and for a scene, and we talked about what we each do to like prep for scenes like this, and
how we get in,
because you're crying for hours. Like you literally have to cry for hours because you shoot the scene so many times, and every take you need to be crying in if you're crying in a scene.
Sometimes people are yelling outside the scene while you're trying to cry.
Oh my god, is this the scene?
You shady queen! Oh my god, I love you so much, and no one knows what we're talking about, and that's how it's going to say. But
you'll just be crying. Just keep crying.
So I'm gonna start. Oh my god, I love you. Okay, so anyway, this scene was so fun to shoot, even though we were crying. It was so cool. This was my first time doing something real as Miranda. Like, yeah, Miranda's cried on YouTube videos and stuff, but to have Miranda play a real emotion, like in front of the camera, was something I wasn't sure I'd be able to do. I was scared of this scene, to like try to act normal and make people feel bad for Miranda, who's a horrible person, and still look like an idiot and not look like me. Like, I don't know. It was a hard thing to do, but I had so much fun. And I feel like we did a great job. Like we both left and we were both so proud of ourselves. We were both so proud. But like it was weird. It was one of those scenes where we were doing it and then they'd say cut and they'd change. And Colleen and I were just kind of like look at each other like this. Yeah. And then not talk to each other and just separate. And then we'd come back and do it again and then separate. And you'd think we hated each other. I forgot about that.
And then he's like, all right, cut that. We're done for the night. And then I just went up to Colleen.
Yeah, we were just crying and hugging. But yeah, like before the scene, we talked and like got close. And then, but yeah, during the scene, I forgot about that. Whenever they yelled cut, we didn't talk to each other. I like turned over on the bed and like.
She rolled back over and went back.
And
I
she
went
like
to
left the
Bethany's
room.
and
I forgot
went
about
back.
that.
I sat.
Okay, so we're at 25:07 right now, and I'm pushing play. So the camera's coming down on Miranda, and she's crying on her really strange bed with a terrifying
camera ups.
So poor Miranda. I love the music cue on this moment too. Just the simple like one piano note. It's so pretty.
I like your pillowcases.
Thanks. Love those owls. I don't know what that pillow is I'm holding. It's like something that goes on a chair, like to help your butt not hurt. I love the way he shot this too. Like that. I love that. I'm not talking and you're out of focus. Like you're the one with all the lines and you're out of focus. It's so weird. Like I love how weird that choice was.
But I like it because
like
it's what's happening. It's like your perspective.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
Yeah, no, but you're the one with like all the lines.
Yeah,
in the scene. It's
she
so
can't
cool.
see me. She's turned around.
I really like it though. It's cool. I know I'm like watching it like, oh my God. No, this was intimidating too. The camera was like right in my face. And this was the final scene. The scene that was up close to my face was the final shot we did that night before we went home. It was a long night.
It was like 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. It was a fun scene to shoot.
Eyes rolled.
Look how cute you are.
We couldn't even see each other. They were like, look at the wall while you're talking to Miranda.
Yeah. Oh, that was so annoying when they were like, okay, we're going to take Miranda out of the scene and you're going to just talk to this X tape on the, it's like, we're supposed to be crying and looking each other in the eyes and they sometimes make you look at like a mark on the camera and that always sucks.
Barrett. Oh, never mind. Wrong line. I'm the worst.
Miranda, listen.
You listen.
I think audition scene.
Yeah, this was an audition scene too.
It never came out this good in the audition though. Just kind of.
You did great in this. You did this in your audition.
I did. It never came out this good though.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we were doing it more jokey in auditions. You know, it was more of a joke scene, and then when we shot it, I wanted it to feel really real and raw, even though we're talking about something kind of stupid. But I love the way this scene turned out. The doll in the background behind Emily's head, the American Girl doll, is a gift someone gave me at a Miranda show. So there's like gifts from you guys on set too. So that one had like a Miranda outfit and like lipstick on, but it was wearing red pants. But at this point in the show, Miranda doesn't have red pants, so we took the red pants off, and so that doll has no pants on.
It'll be like
Emily says, you do that scene for me. This scene explains why Miranda doesn't have a sister and why she's never talked about having a sister, and she never will talk about having a sister.
Ever. Was Cheska a fan of Colleen?
No, she'd never heard of me. She doesn't know the internet.
I don't know the internet, as we've learned. I don't.
So now we're on the dinner scene. She's serving goldfish, which I love. It's so funny. And Steve had gravel in his
mouth.
He like stuck it in his lip. And so then when he took the bite of the fish, he was like spitting out what he had like shoved in his lip before we started. And I was laughing throughout this scene too. So I'm glad they barely show me because I was laughing the entire time.
It was so good though. Every scene, a chunk of gravel and just eat it.
And that potato salad was gross. Did you eat any of that? No, you had a salad.
I had my prepackaged, but Steve spit some gravel in it, so I didn't even really get to eat it.
I just laughed. Bethany and I, I'm laughing for sure. Bethany or Angela and I had to eat that potato salad. It was so gross. Eating that.
Is that Jesus in the background? Where?
Most definitely.
100%. But where?
It's in Miranda's room. There's a Jesus statue. 72 views is nothing to scoff at.
How dare you, Bethany? So
here come the comments. And the comments that we read are actual comments that I have received. We didn't write any of the comments. Those are real comments. I went through my comments and like pulled hate comments and put them in the script. We changed like a word or two because then technically we wouldn't have written it. So we would change a few of the words, but like they were inspired by real hate comments that I got online. I love this scene.
It was so hard because you only got the one chance.
So I'm pausing it, y'all. We're pausing at 29:18. We're almost done with the episode. So 29:18, if you want to queue up to that. I'm reading the comments on the screen. And this scene was fun to shoot. Like with you guys pulling on me and everyone was screaming.
Because Angela was like, I have an injury. Like the three of us all had injuries. You have your shoulder.
Yeah.
Angela was like, yeah, I have like a wrist thing. And I was like, ooh, I have a back thing. And so we were all
trying to like be
fight
nice without hurting each other.
broken body parts. And
Yeah, but it ended up so good. I love the way that we're all screaming at each other, and like I love this scene. I think it turned out so good.
But they were like, you only have one shot, Colleen.
Yeah, so we did it a bunch of times. So we ran up to the computer and grabbed it, and then we cut. And then we had that prop computer. We did it twice actually, but they said I only had one take. But we ended up doing it twice because the first time the computer landed face down, and so obviously that wasn't going to work. And it like landed on the other side of the living room, so we ended up being able to do it twice. When I actually threw the computer, and it hurt my arm. It was a lightweight computer, and they were so good about my arm on set. They were like, "Hey, Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel. It's my real sister and my show sister." Hi, Rachel.
Oh,
look at sister friends. Okay, so
thanks.
anyway, they were really good on set about protecting my rotator cuff tear problems. They were so sweet. And so the computer that I threw was actually really light, and it wasn't, I didn't hurt myself from throwing the computer. I hurt myself from like just doing it with such force that I like totally ended up hurting myself. But at 29:18 is where we are, and I'm pushing play right now. Miranda's reading the comments. Uncle Jim's unplugging things. But I love this. I love you and Angela. We ended up like throwing everything on the table behind us, ended up on the floor. We broke something. Do you remember? Like things were falling and breaking.
We broke a ton of stuff. It got very aggressive.
Yes, everyone just
Get out.
screamed.
Save yourself.
Angela, I never noticed she was like trying to grab on. She fell. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So he's turning the computer over. It's smoking. That was cool. They like blew like smoke inside. It was so weird. I don't even know how they did it. It was so cool.
Just everyone behind the show
did
such an incredible job.
I hate you. Bethany. And then that's me singing in the background. And build a sound on me. Look to the sun. Okay, that's it. The end. We did it. We got through the episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we'll look at your tweets for a sec, and then we'll go hang out because I haven't seen Francesca since the premiere, and before that I hadn't seen her for a while. So
for months. Kelsey wants to know what was the most uncomfortable scene to shoot, if there were any.
Do you have an answer for that? The most uncomfortable scene to shoot.
Uncomfortable scene.
Uncomfortable physically? Well, not for me, but for Angela and Eric, when they did the magic box scene, they were in harnesses that were like pinching all their bits and pieces. And so I know that they were really uncomfortable. For me, I'm trying to think of when I felt like when I was physically uncomfortable with something.
I have one.
What?
I have one. The dinner scene with Bethany and Keith. Just because they both went to 100 really quick. You're just with their
the ketchup and their flirting.
Just like their flirtation, and a couple times because they're like, okay, you're supposed to be okay. You like Keith, but then a couple times they would just leave the camera on, and he would be serving us this mac and cheese with hot dog in it, and just look at me like this, and then just squirt ketchup really slowly on my food. And then a few times he winked at me, and I was like, you can't do that. You're supposed to be in love with Bethany. He was like, oh, you're right. Sorry, I got carried away with the character. And I was like, that's fine.
Oh my God.
We were all sitting there. Me and Angela were like,
it was like 3:30 in the morning too.
It was.
I remember what was most uncomfortable for me was riding the parade float, because I was on the float in episode 7. I'm on this parade float. I was on it all day, and it was so wide, and my legs, I was basically sitting in the splits for the entire day. I was so sore and in so much pain. So that physically was probably the most uncomfortable I was. So if you guys have questions, hashtag #HatersBackOff and tag Francesca and me. Her Twitter is FranLreale.
Same for the gram.
Let's see.
Do they link? Are they linked it up? No. What do I don't know anything.
You don't know the internet.
Just shut up, Rachel. Colleen promised to show me how to
Twitter. I need to show her.
Well, here's
the
thing. Apparently, there's a way where you can share your Instagram photos to your Twitter.
Yeah. Jessica, you're a mess.
Woo.
You're a mess.
All over the map.
Okay, let's see. At Dingle Queens said, "How did you cry so hard?" It made me cry. I cry a few times on this show, and I don't know. I always thought I'd have to think of something really sad to make me cry, from my own personal life. And yeah, that definitely is a great way to make yourself cry. But and in the first scene, in the first episode, I did do that. I thought of things in my life that were hard and difficult at the time, and that helped me to get emotional. But honestly, like, I quickly realized if I just thought about the situation I was in with the character, I could cry. It was easier too. Like, for me to get worked up over like something really sad in my life was hard for me to do in front of other people. But like, if I just thought, okay, Miranda just put herself out there for the first time, and she thinks she's incredible, and she has the support of her family, and she just found out that her sister said something so cruel to her that she'd never heard before, and told her she was embarrassed by her. Like, that would be so hurtful for this girl who believes she's wonderful and loves her sister. Like, to find out, like, and I thought about my sister. I was like, if my sister told me that she thought I was embarrassing and was writing mean comments on my videos, like, I'd be devastated. And so when you put yourself in the situation of the characters, it like makes you cry. Like, it is emotional because you're so invested in, we played these characters for like 18 hours a day. And so you really start to feel like you are that person a little bit. And I've been playing Miranda for 10 years almost. So it wasn't that hard to cry. And in the last scene of the show with Angela, I love her so much as a person that when you have someone you adore, like someone you care about so much who's a good friend, screaming at you and saying all you care about is yourself, and like screaming at you, like, it's not hard to cry when someone who you love is screaming at you. Like, it really just puts you in the scene. And I don't know, I thought it was gonna be harder than it was. It just like kind of happens. Like, when you're in the scene, you're just like, oh yeah, here we go. Like,
I did like an appropriate mix of like how I thought Emily would feel, but then I also like really wanted like that last scene I did with you for episode 8.
Yeah.
That one was really hard because I was like, this is something that's supposed to mean so much to me, and I'm supposed to yell at someone who means so much to me. And Colleen means so much to me, and I had to try to think, okay, Colleen, the sibling. So I was like doing this really weird combination of like how I would yell at my brother, because I have yelled at my brother before. I've never yelled at Colleen, except
now you have.
Now I have. Not like I'm scared of her. And then I was just thinking like, and these two people that I really care about, what would it be like if they destroyed something that I care about the most in the world? And then you just have to like sit on that for a moment and really just think about that.
And our crew was great. Like, we would, in emotional scenes, because there's a lot of like heartfelt scenes in this show, and our crew was so good about like, if we said, I need just 1 minute, they were so good about like saying action and then going, okay, whenever you're ready. And like, they would let us just kind of sit and feel the emotion we needed to feel for like 15 seconds, and then we get to start seeing whenever we were ready, which was so cool. They didn't like pressure us into like, no, just do it. We don't care if you're not ready. They wanted to get the scene too. Well, I know what you're thinking right now.
Well, a lot of times too, they were just like, we're just gonna press record, and it would be either Emily enters or Colleen enters or Angela enters. So they'd be like, we're just gonna press record, and then you enter when you are ready or when you feel that scene. So sometimes it really is just about that silence. Yeah. Because silence can be the most uncomfortable and kind of heartbreaking thing, especially if you know you're about to say something mean.
I see a lot of people asking about a season 2. I would love a season 2, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just happy we got to do season 1. It's a story I've been wanting to tell for years and years and years. I hope we get a season 2. It's not up to me. It's up to Netflix, and obviously, I mean, it's been great to see the positive feedback. You know, it depends on like if people watch the show, and if people binge watch the show, and if people sign up for Netflix to watch the show, and if it gets good reviews and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really up to us. I wish it was, because obviously I'd be like, we got 10 seasons. But I would love to do a season 2. That would be really cool. We'll see what happens. Regardless, I'm just happy we got to do season 1. That was amazing. But also, I just want to say that on Netflix, you can write comments about what you thought about the show.
Them.
Me too. And you guys are so
I've been
sweet.
reading all your nice comments.
So like, that's been really, really nice, guys. So
5 stars. I
know,
saw.
you guys are so nice. So like, that makes me really happy. So because we've been going on Netflix like every day and reading comments, seeing what people are saying. And there's some that don't really get it, and that's fine. I expected that. But then there's a lot of comments that are like really, really sweet. And so that's been amazing to see. And just know that we're reading those like every day. So thank you for doing that. And you guys are the best.
Nathan Jones, what's the latest you stayed up filming the show?
all night.
All night, like 6.
There
6
are many
a.m.?
times where we would
5?
5 I think was the latest, but we would by the time we got home it was like 6,
6.
and you'd
The
watch
sun-
the sun
the
coming
The
up.
sun was coming up.
Yeah, as
I
we'd
remember
get
there
home.
was one Friday where we shot until, actually your entire family was there, and we shot until like 4:30 or 5, and then Angela just went to the airport immediately.
She went to the airport
from set to catch her 6 a.m. flight to go back to LA to see her daughter.
She's a great mom. Yeah, she's such a good mom. It is insane.
Ever.
People are asking if there's going to be a soundtrack.
There is a soundtrack. I think we're working on it. Like, I have the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. I love our composer, and I worked so closely with him. Like, he was so collaborative. He was so amazing and so patient with me, being like nitpicky about every single song, but he's so good. And we got a full orchestra to record it, and it was just, I don't know. I love the music in the show. I love it, love it, love it. Go.
Someone asked if I tucked, and I didn't tuck because like I don't want to be sitting like that with that inside me all day. It's like it literally took all 24 hours to do that whole like, episode, and so I wore 5 pairs of Spanx, so like it was down.
Janice, I'm not an actual artist. I'm so sorry to tell you. I did a few of it. If you see like a really big blob of a color on any of the paintings, that's me. But the entire painting. Rachel, stop making fun of me.
Riley said, can you talk about the very last scene of episode 8 and the emotion and process behind it? I don't want to give away any spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen the whole season yet, but I will tell you that before we wrote the TV show, before we even came up with Emily, before anything, like since the beginning of wanting to make this project, I knew that that was going to be the final scene in the show. The only thing I knew, like when I met with Christopher for the first time to talk about the idea, it was a movie originally, and I knew how I wanted the show to start, and I knew how I wanted it to end. And I knew I wanted it to end, I don't know how to say it without giving spoilers, but I knew I wanted the show to start with Miranda, and she has her family, she has her home, she has her friends, she's confident, she's happy, but she's not famous, and she doesn't have fame. And throughout the season, watching her get obsessed with being viral and being famous and what that does to her and her relationships with everybody else, all I knew is I wanted the show to start in that way and end the opposite, end in the same room. I wanted to start and end in the same room. And that final shot, like, of Miranda, that has been in my head for years. Like, I've told so many people, like, that idea of, like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's fascinating to me that as YouTubers, we're like, you know, famous people, I guess, because we have millions of people who watch us, but the majority of our lives is sitting alone in our room, like clicking a button in silence and watching views go up and reading comments alone. And that's a huge part of our life. And that's fascinating to me, that like, that is what the majority of my life is sitting alone in a room. And the thought of this girl who's cocky and confident and braggy and obsessed with fame finally gets everything that she's ever wanted, but she's miserable, is like a story that I really wanted to tell. So before we wrote any of the story, we didn't have a plot. We didn't have any idea of what we wanted to do with it. All I knew is I wanted the show to start with Miranda's first upload, and I wanted the show to end with the exact scene that ended. And that was the only thing I knew. And then we filled in the blanks. So we got into writer's room the first day and we're like, this is how it starts and this is how it ends. What happens in between? Let's figure out that arc and the characters. And I don't know why, but I just woke up one day. I was like, oh my God, I want to film that scene someday. I love the idea of that scene of Miranda alone in her room clicking and being miserable. And I don't know why. I just really like the idea of that scene.
That entire last episode was really what like pulled me in when I got all the scripts, because I, like Colleen said, I didn't really know a ton about the world. And then like when I was auditioning, I made the choice not to watch many Miranda videos.
Which I think is really smart.
She probably wouldn't. But when I was reading everything on this like very bumpy plane ride over to Vancouver, I just like had to sit after reading episode 8 and just be like, wow, this is every single character, even the quirkiest ones like Miranda, were really humanized and put into a real world, because like it's so easy to watch the first couple episodes and be like, oh my God, this world is so quirky and weird and Napoleon Dynamite-y and da-da-da-da. But then if you just follow through and finish, you see that like, no, this is this is a real world. This is
Yeah.
someone's real life. This is someone in their room. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Don't lie. We've all been there. I've done it. And just clicked and refreshed and refreshed and refreshed and felt that kind of loneliness with like.
Well, and I think there's something to be said about like having to live with consequences. Like, and it's not always a happy ending. And I get frustrated a lot when I watch TV and movies, and it's like everything is tied with a bow and it's all perfect in the end. And that's not life. Like, life is hard. And sometimes you're really sad and crappy things happen. And that's a story I feel like more people should be honest about and tell. And that you have to live with consequences when you are a jerk. Like, if you treat people badly, you will suffer the consequences of that. And that's, I think, an important lesson to tell people and to share. And so yeah, I don't know. I really like the show. I like the way that it ended up. And I know that a lot of people were shocked by the ending, but that's kind of what we were going for, I guess. This is the story I want to tell. I don't know. I'm proud of it. Anyway, I'm talking about it for a long time. And
I'm proud of it too.
I'm proud of it. Okay, we'll answer just a couple more because we have been on here for a very long time.
How do you see where I'm going to stop asking questions.
What? Don't say what?
No, because I can see Rachel over here, and she's giving me this stare that's like, Francesca's going to ask a stupid social media question. What do you do in your spare time? Read books? Like, idiot.
Talk to people in real life.
You can put books on
Weirdo.
your phone now.
Okay, let's see. People are like, don't spoil the last episode.
We didn't.
I didn't. I kind of did, but I didn't really. Let's see. Who's your favorite character in the show? That's from Melanie. I'm not supposed to say. I mean, I love them all. I love them all so much. And the actors, I can't pick a favorite actor. It's like picking a favorite child. I love them all. But I do have a favorite character in the show. And I've had a favorite character since the beginning. Who, Dad? Dad. My dad. My dad's in the show. See if you can find my dad. My dad is in an episode. My favorite character is Patrick. And it always has been. Like, since we started writing the characters, I was like, this kid is my favorite. I love how sweet he is, and
genuine.
He's so genuine.
genuine.
And his backstory, which you guys don't know yet, but I hope we can tell you, will just make you just die. Like, it is so good. Have I told you his backstory? I have to tell you. I hope we get to tell it someday, because he's just the sweetest kid and has been through so much and is so devoted to Miranda and so in love. Like, it's a pure, unconditional love. Mm-hmm. And I love that about him. I love that character. And he's based on people that I know in real life. And he, like, from way back in the day. And Eric does such a good job playing him. But even when we were pitching the show, we hadn't cast anybody. We were going around to different networks and trying to sell the show to places. And I always pitched Patrick. I was like, next character is Patrick. This is my favorite character in the whole show. I just love him. I think he's unique and weird and different and sweet. And you can't help but to fall in love with that kid. Yeah. Like, he's so great.
Every time you see him, your heart just like kind of stops for a minute. You're just like, oh.
And you're like, why do you like her?
Something.
Why do you like Miranda?
So
She's
amazing.
awful. I know, he's so great. That character is my favorite character. Who's your favorite character?
I have a toss-up. I'm just a toss-up between Uncle Jim and Bethany, just because they're both so.
And we're not talking about the actors. All the actors we like equally. We're talking about, I know you love the actors too, but I'm saying, like, we're not picking favorite actors. We're picking your favorite character. But
just, you just have to admire these two people that put their entire life and energy and all their emotions, especially Uncle Jim, into this person. And they just, like, work so hard to make sure that she is happy and she's protected. And I mean, I know some of you think they're really mean to Emily, and they can kind of be mean to Emily, but in the end, it's kind of like they know she can take it. Mm-hmm. So they're not too upset about it. Like, Emily has heart-to-hearts with all of them, but they work so hard just to protect Miranda. And I think it's that protective attitude that I really enjoy about both of them. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just because I'm extra protective as a person. I love them.
Yeah, I think I love all the characters.
I just love Corey's character because he's so sassy.
So Colleen's Anatomy said, how much of Miranda slipping on the banana was actually you? Obviously the actual fall wasn't, but so we had stunt doubles on set every once in a while.
That girl was
And
incredible.
that was not me, the actual slip and fall. And a lot of you have been screenshotting her butt as she falls. Girl, my butt is not that good. Like her legs and butt are like on point. I wish that was me. But she was so sweet and she looked really a lot like me. And I have pictures of us together that
She didn't use a mat though. They just put
No.
a small pad on her back.
She didn't fall on a mat. She fell on the hard ground.
She fell on the hard.
She was insane.
Pad
She's so
on
good.
her hard, and she did it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, she did it.
And every
So
time
many
she
times.
fell, I would sit and jump.
Yeah, it was
And
really
then
scary.
she'd just get back up, and she's like, "I'm doing it again."
And I did not have a stunt double for episode 4 when we're slipping and falling on the stage. Like that was me and I had bruises all over my legs. But Steve and Eric had stunt doubles. So it was me with 2 professional stunt doubles slipping and falling. And they had knee pads on and butt pads on. And I'm not wearing any pads at all and falling all over the place. And I got bruised up so hard. And one of the falls in the show, right after you guys come in the scene, you see like Patrick kick my legs out from underneath me. And that was the stunt double. And he kicked my legs out from underneath me. And that was a genuine fall. I got so hurt. And in the real footage, you hear Angela and Francesca scream.
Yeah,
Because
we're watching because they had us go in to just watch them do it and read our lines, and then we're watching Colleen, and we see her literally feet up in the air, literally off the ground, and then go, and you just hear both of us go, "Oh my god!" And
Yeah,
then
it's just,
Angela literally just stops acting,
Yeah.
looks over at the first lady, she goes, get her down
Yeah.
right now. She's hurt, get her down. And I was like, I was frozen
It was
because I was
crazy.
waiting for her to get up.
And of course me, I'm like, I'm fine, let's do it again. And I'm like, broken bones.
Just
I didn't
shoulder
really, it was fine.
shattered.
I was totally fine. I just had a bunch of bruises. But so did Eric. Eric felt much too. And then I had a stunt double for the parade scene too, to like crawl up into the butt of the parade float. But I ended up doing it. I was like, I want to do it, I'll do it. And so I only used the stunt double once, and it was for that banana peel slip. So okay.
She was just madness.
She was really good. Okay, so
Doing
let's
a
see.
really bad job at checking these.
I know, I am too. Let's see.
Is it a doorbell or phone?
I'm trying to find a good one.
I can't answer that one.
Can you just, Katerina, Bethman13 said, can you describe the cast in one word? Perfect. I don't know. I love the cast. They're amazing.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Very
Amazing.
talented.
Tag Francesca too in these questions so she can read them too. Fran L. Reale.
Please explain the relation. Ooh. Jesslyn. I'm sorry if I said that so wrong. Ugh. Please explain the relationship Bethany has with Miranda versus the relationship she has with Emily. That's a great question.
Well, Bethany had Miranda first, obviously. Miranda is the older sister, even though some of you didn't know that.
If you guys have been to Colleen's live show, she shows you the birth.
The birth of Miranda, I do. Bethany has Miranda, and that was Miranda's her prized possession, her joy, her everything. She just is so happy with Miranda, and Miranda is kind of a little spoiled monster. So Bethany gets pregnant with Emily, and Miranda is furious that there's another person on the way and starts kind of training Bethany to hate this second person, because not that Bethany hates her other daughter, she loves both her daughters, but she, Miranda's decided to make everyone's life a living hell because this other person is coming in and stealing her thunder. And so Bethany with Miranda, it was her first baby, her first little princess, and clearly there's something a little off with Miranda. So Bethany feels that Miranda needs extra attention and extra adoration. And, she thinks if I give her these trophies, if I tell her she's amazing, it'll help her to stop being this way. But really it's just, adding to Miranda's crazy ego. And so she thinks she's helping Miranda become a more sane person, but really she's making it worse. And with Emily, she's, keeps messing up because she's ignoring Emily and thinks Emily's going to be fine. I mean, we touched on it earlier. She thinks Emily's fine. She doesn't need to worry about her. So she can just throw her away because Emily's, well-rounded and has a good head on her shoulders, but Miranda needs help. And so Emily kind of gets shoved to the side. And not only that, but Bethany desperately wants to be best friends with Miranda. Like, it's Bethany's dream to be Miranda's best friend, but Miranda's best friends with her uncle. And Patrick. So Bethany has no way in. The only time that Miranda and Uncle Jim are in cahoots with Bethany is when she's being mean to Emily. That's the only way that Bethany can have fun or join in with Miranda and Uncle Jim. And so she's mean to Emily to get closer to Miranda, which is totally messed up.
It's really like the 5th grade thing, though. You're like, what are the mean girls doing? Oh, if I'm mean, I'll join them kind of thing.
But I think she loves both of her daughters a lot.
Does.
And especially near the end of the season, you see her trying to reach out to Emily.
Yeah, you see her actually, when she sees that, because I always, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I always like to think that Emily never actually got upset or really like hurt until a certain point in the season, which I'm not going to spoil, because you guys should watch it.
No, I think that's true. Emily just kind of lived with it. It was in her bubble. That she lived at home with these crazies, and she was just like, "This is my life, and it's cool, and I'll just stay under the radar, and no one will ever know, and it's not a big deal."
Books, went to school, came home, and all that stuff. And
and Emily loves her family.
Yeah,
she really
does. But I think once she really just had this sincere breaking point, I think Bethany finally kind of clicks for her that, oh, I've really just shoved this girl over to the side because I thought she'd always be okay. I thought everything that was thrown at her, she'd really be able just to bounce back. But when she stops, that's when the two of them really start kind of bonding. And
it's crazy. I think Emily has been wanting to bond with her mother for a while, and you see that in a few episodes where she's trying to bond with her mom, and her mom's not interested. It's only focused on Miranda. And then when Bethany realizes, like, oh, I'm neglecting my other daughter, I need to give her attention, it's too late. Like, Emily is already done. She's sick of the way she's been treated, and she wants out. So it's a good lesson, like, on humanity, I guess, in relationships. Like, don't wait to fix relationships and see where the mistakes are made and whatnot. But anyway, I think that I love the relationship between Bethany and her daughters. I think it's so interesting. And I love that Bethany finally gained strength. I'm not going to give anything away, but like, when Bethany finally has the confidence to say something to Miranda, is like, I love that moment.
When she's finally able to stand up.
And the fact that Miranda takes it. I think that's one thing that's really interesting too, is that Bethany has never said anything to Miranda negative because she doesn't want Miranda to be mad at her or hate her. But when Bethany finally does say something to Miranda, you can see on Miranda's face that like she's listening and she's taking it in, which means her whole life she could have been doing this to Miranda, maybe created a somewhat normal person, but instead she just aided her horrible behavior. Anyway, we could go into the psyche of these characters all day, but we have been live streaming forever. So I'm gonna go. I think this is something we might do again with other episodes in the future. I hope you guys like this. Let me know. Keep hashtagging haters back off. Keep watching the show.
Finish it. Just watch the whole thing. Don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop. And watch it again. If you've already seen it, watch it again.
Watch it.
I hope
6 times.
My mom has seen it 6 times. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, my mom loves the show. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. And this is Francesca, and I love her so much. And I hope to see you guys soon. We'll do another live stream soon.
It's a stop.
Yeah, stop broadcast. This is the internet.
Oh my God.
Rachel! What? Okay, bye.